I think first, when we get into September, we're starting to think of, what chores do we have to do? And really, when it comes down to it, they're mostly all hunting chores, and which is what I really like about it. There's one major deer habitat chore that we have in September, and I could throw in another one, but when we get down here, we have our fall power, and that is a blend that is specifically designed for early to mid-season, and so we're adding rye. But before we even get there, we have our trail cameras, and so we have a location like this that is a great spot for watching deer and their patterns as they evolve into the middle of the season. There's an actual scrape tree right here. They scrape under it every year, but we couldn't position the camera on a tree close enough or far enough away. I don't want to put that camera only 5 feet away from the scrape. It's just too close for me. And so we're watching the end of the corner of this field, and we're getting a lot of browsing in this location. There's a lot of food out here, but I want these cameras ready to go the beginning of September, because with these reveals, we're putting on these on a 10-second video and one shot. So we get one picture, 10-second video. And what I'm finding is those will last even on video, even in moderate use. We're not putting them on a bait pile. We're not putting them right out here in the middle of the food. It's just a pass through on this corner, scraping this location. Then we find that those can last us about 3 to 4 months. And that's what we're looking at. That's with AA lithiums. And so we want to cover our season. So a lot of these September swap outs are areas that now we could get in and out of here pretty easily, but there's no reason for us to put this on 30-second video. We're going to put it on 10-second video. And I like this area in here because not only are we going to see the bucks coming in and out, they like going right in and out this location, but we're going to be able to watch this food plot come and go. So to us, trail cameras, early September, last time we're sticking batteries in them. And if we have a spot like this location right here, if we cleared out some limbs, really cool spot for a solar panel and maybe even a lithium battery pack, then we can get these to run into next year, like next summer or later. So then we could do a pretty good job with that. But we have a lot of cameras that are hidden in the shade, and it's not necessarily a good purpose for that. And I'm looking right now, you can see we have a lot of beans coming up in here. Our peas are already starting to come out. We're actually getting pea pods, and the deer are really hitting. There's a lot of moisture in here. Our beans are about mid-level in here, and this buckwheat's doing its job. It's protecting those beans. We already have pods in the beans, and it's August 28th, so we still have 6 weeks. We're not going to get any frost plus, and we're already getting those pods on here, so fully intend to get some beans out here, and it's looking pretty good. Another thing too is we're getting ready for the season. So yeah, we're changing trail cameras, thinking about hunting. Our shooting lanes are already clear, but really shooting. And we talk about in another video that when we're shooting, this time of year, we're looking at, I want to really start incorporating the 3D into just before the season and in-season shooting, not to start the season with. Now people have these chores or bow hunting practice routines where you're drawing back, seeing how long you can hold, building your muscles, shooting at 3D target, trying to make 2 good shots. When really, to me, it's about the season buildup is about putting arrows through, putting quality arrows through, not shooting too many arrows, focusing on form, being disciplined, using a dot so that you can shoot at this specific small target. That way you can see how far your pin's off, make easier adjustments. When you're shooting at a blank 3D target, even if you're picking out a dark spot on that target, it's really hard to reference when you go up there and pull your arrows exactly where you're aiming versus where you're hitting. So it's not going to help you for adjustments. And then broadheads, you're shooting everything, you're getting good groups, you're adjusting your bow. For example, let's say you're really shooting at 60 yards very, very well, and you're keeping a good group and it's consistent. Try moving your rest 1, 2, 3 clicks to the left, 3 or 4 clicks more, 3 or 4 clicks more. You'll see our group starting to widen up. Then you take your rest, go back to the center point and move it to the right the same amount, and you'll see that group starting to tighten up. Tightens up here, count your clicks, move that rest right back to the center point of those clicks. That'll be your closest and smallest grouping for that distance. So the further you can shoot competently, you can make those little adjustments like that. You're not going to do that on a 3D animal, and you're not going to do that with your broadheads first. I'd rather see you tune your arrows, get that in shape, then start incorporating the 3D, and then that broadhead a week or two before you start hunting, start flinging some broadheads. But what we're doing is we're shooting maybe 1 or 2 on the 3D target, 5 or 6 in the dots just to make sure where we're hitting, and then we're shooting 1 or 2 broadheads at a time, typically only 1. And we might shoot a second one just to make sure a blade's not getting bent or something, or hasn't gotten bent and flying off a little bit. But you know, at that point you're starting to shoot well, and you can really see how your broadheads are hitting. And so those are 2 major things: your bow, camera right here, really critical. You know, those are September things. We keep a list too, and so there's a time where we just don't want to go back into our tree stands, especially in a certain location. We keep a list of stand locations that don't have a lifeline potentially, or don't have a bow holder. And so instead of going in there making a bunch of noise, coming back out before the season begins or right before the season begins, then in September when we go in to hunt that stand for the first time, we're bringing what we need to in at that location and getting it set up real quietly. So we're just going in, hunting, and then getting back out of there. Really easy to do. And really, in September, our season opens on September 13th. So yours might open October 1st. So it gives you a little bit more leeway to get some of this stuff done. But we're really starting to push it to where we're really not trying to get in and spook anything, and really letting everything settle down. And then you get into, you know, our brassica is a really important crop for us. You see where we had the tire tracks going through here to spray, and they're already filling in. Our brassica, most of it's about 1 foot tall. We've sprayed Nitrogrow on it. That's a really important part of this food plot because we want to get as much volume as possible. When you get over here, we have the young buckwheat. This buckwheat right here, compared to our rut zone, was planted about 3 weeks later. So this fresh young buckwheat here, you can see where it's starting to get mowed down. Some of the tops, they're eating on it. We have peas in here. We have a little vetch. We have some annual clover. And so really a luscious crop for that early to mid-season. This is the time where this will start to get hit hard over the next week, harder and harder because it's extremely fresh. And what will happen is it'll be that perfect time with a lot of soil exposure where we can come in here and we'll add about 150 pounds of rye right over the top of this. If we had some kind of plot failure with our brassica, you can see some of those areas that are light, they're going to fill in. Then we would add the rye over there. But we're just going to add the rye on this strip. We'll add it in thick, and that'll be there and green up in the spring, and the deer love it in the spring. But right now we have a lot of early to mid-season goodness coming in. That's taking the pressure off of the brassica, off of the rut zone up there. We'll start with a reinforcing layer of rye that'll be very lush and tender. We're doing that around Labor Day here. Maybe if you're down in Kentucky, West Virginia, over to Missouri, you might do that more second, third week of September. And if you're up north, you might want to do that a little bit earlier. But bottom line is, while this is getting eaten down, and you can see where it's getting nipped off, and especially these corners where there's a lot of traffic, then we want that reinforcing layer of fresh young rye coming in. And that's a really important habitat feature that we're working on in September. But everything else is hunting related. Bow hunting, really getting it narrowed down to our bow hunting practice and hunting season practice. We're getting our clothes ready, bins are ready, making sure we're organized on our clothing, getting them all washed. We keep them in Rubbermaids. We're keeping our boots outside the truck. We're spraying our boots down. That normal scent control routine, but always remember the biggest form of scent control is stand location. So setting your stands up, making sure that nothing's blowing downwind of you, or no deer are getting downwind of you. That's probably the #1 form of scent control and what we're really focusing on. But I hope you guys are ready for the season. When it comes to deer chores, September is our last deer chore until December, because October, November, it's all hunting all the time. We get into a lot of hunting tips at that time, my favorite time of the year. Love watching you guys. A lot of you that only come to the channel for hunting season, we appreciate you and welcome back for that. I'm sure you're starting to slip in here in early September, but we still have a few things to do in September, mostly deer hunting chores as opposed to habitat chores. Hope you guys are on track and ready for the season, because we are. We feel like we're real ahead of the game this year. Our Kentucky season starts a week from Saturday on September 6th, and we can't wait, and we'll bring that hunt to you too. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I really want to urge you to check out purewildlifeblends.com. That is my seed company. Jen and I founded that 3 years ago, 3 seasons ago. And we have 20 offerings now for you. And there's 3 quick things I want to hit. Pure wildlife blends, meaning we add no coatings, garbage, inert matter to the seed, and we don't try to sell you on that. No fancy colors in the bag. Also, same day shipping. And bottom line is, I've been researching and building experience on food plotting at a high level for the last 3 decades. Each of that goes into the bag. We choose what we want to plant in the bag, not our seed wholesaler. And all that research goes into that, all that experience. So check out those blends. And again, it's crunch time. Ours are looking beautiful. And if you check out our seed, this is a perfect time to buy. Thank you for watching.